Good morning everyone, my name is Christian from Two-Headed Wolf Gaming and welcome back to Path of Exile, where today, we're jumping straight in with 4 Maven battles. I did a tiny bit of farming all around here. I don't think I unlocked, maybe I have unlocked since the last episode 1 or 2 extra conquerors. There's a lot more work to be done, so let's jump into these challenges and see where we're at and what we're going to do. Experience, there's nothing special there, just gain like 10%. But it is a whole lot tougher nowadays too. Okay, can't really disrupt that, I think. Okay, that one is done. Let's put down an Orb of Storm. Let's not sit still at all. Do your best, do your best. You don't want to sit still. Good.
When I'm ready and not before.
Okay, we have here Lord Ashen Arrows. This guy is pretty easy. I think I'd rather take on this guy. Let's try this. Let's throw in these flames as well, just for that extra damage. Now with that fire damage, that extra flask would have been great. The last flask that we need, but we don't have the money for it. Okay, nice. So there we have it. We defeated 6 bosses. I want to go where? Blight bosses in areas drop an additional anointed jewelry. And blight chests in areas are lucky. Variety of items containing 1 blight chest. Okay. I think getting an additional harbinger is better. Harbingers have the potential to give you exalted orbs as well, like in different shards, but putting them together you get your desired currency, especially at higher levels. Plus it gives us quite a bit of experience, so I would like to continue investing for this turn into more harbingers. Okay, let's take on the next battle. Now I hope I won't be losing any of these. We'll see. So what do we have here? Anyone that I should be taking? Probably the Bleeding Witch. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm going to go this way. Oh, she didn't come up yet. Ooh, this guy. He's doing that circle which will envelop the map if I don't kill him now. Okay, then we'll take on the witch. The blacksmith guy, the healer guy, I don't care too much for. He's slow and our golems will distract him. Okay, this was not difficult. A Sage Robe. Orb of Unmaking grants an Atlas passive skill refine point. Great. We do want that, as I regret a few choices, but we'll see afterwards. For now, going further into Legion sounds like a good idea. Timeless Printers dropped in areas have a 1% chance to drop as a Timeless Emblem instead. Yeah, that is good. So what does this do is the following. When we go to fragments, I think this is an emblem, and so instead of a splinter, which we will need 100 just to create one of these emblems, we will get directly an emblem. I think that is pretty useful, especially at this point of the game. We are still early on until we unlock an extra slot in the Atlas, meaning one more of these boxes. That will have its uses. We'll do this. I'm gonna keep this map at hand, as I wanna go explore it. Let's see, what do we have here as bosses? A spider. This guy, we have to take him out, because he has the beams and a few other attacks. Other than that, I think I'm good. Okay. Did he teleport? Okay. Ooh, this big guy here. Okay. It's awesome that some of these get distracted by the golems. Really gives us enough time to do damage and not stick around when it isn't important. Harvest monsters in areas grant 200 increased experience, okay. Breaches in areas have 30% increased area of effect. Monster density, more experience. Increase 100% increased chance to contain a boss. This is for Breach, not for Legion. Seance. Up to 20 rare monsters in areas are possessed and their minions are touched. Now that can be pretty dangerous. I think going for Delve would be an interesting idea as well. No, let's go. Let's go with this. 2% extra chance to contain a sacred grove, and we'll get 50% chance to spawn an additional monster. I think that might be helping us. Plus, it seems like we can refund some of these points, and that is okay. Going to be very helpful. What else do we do here? Okay, I don't care about that guy. I think I might care about him. Yeah, okay, let's get this battle started. Ooh. Okay, let's take care of him. Good. One down. Let's take care of Bazur here. Okay. Oof. Now during the map, I don't remember this guy being as strong, but get distracted enough by other bosses and it seems like he does have some strength. Whew, okay. Are we going to go further with Alva? Incursion monsters in area are at least magic. I do like that. Are at least rare. So we can either go for extra strong boxes, which could be useful, or we could go towards a Legion. Legions encounters in areas are 100% more likely to include generals. Do we want to go for incursion monsters in areas to be at least magic? Good experience? Is that the idea I'm going for? Or should I go for the chance to get more Legion? You know what? Let's specialize in Alva's Temple, and we'll see afterwards what we do.
Godslayer.
Okay.
Be careful.
So that's that. Let's take a look at some of our maps, see if there's anything else that we could do. Some of these territories we didn't explore. Cold River map. We're gonna do some new maps today. We have plenty on our list. And thus, without further ado, we're just gonna get going here. Increase cast speed and stuff, okay, don't care. Minus 12 to player resistances, could be bad, but maybe we'll be fine. Okay, and let's identify this. Now I want you to be careful with one of the modifiers. You know, I said, like, we can't do elemental reflection at all. That is not something that works for us. But the second thing I observed is I thought that I could be doing the physical reflection ones. What you have to be careful of is the Wave of Conviction. You know, the Wave of Conviction does do physical damage, as you can see there, right? It reduces the resistance to elementals by 25% for the highest damage taken by an enemy. But that also means that you'll be doing all of those damages there, and when you do the physical damage, it gets reflected back at you. There were different maps where I didn't know why I was dying, like the damage was observable, so basically I wouldn't die as quickly as it was in elemental reflection. It would take maybe a few groups of enemies, and I kept wondering, like, why am I getting so damaged all of a sudden? And during those maps, what you want to do is take out the elemental reflection. So not the elemental reflection, the Wave of Conviction. So you take it off and you run with the rest of your skills, and you'll be able to do that map. Well, let's get this going. Alva's missions. We don't have yellow encounters anymore. It's the beginning of the day. I tried to record in the evening, but it was getting late, and I thought, you know what? It's a better idea to wake up even earlier instead. So it's easier for me to do that and then stay up late. And so I did, and now I'm having the first coffee of the day.
I need more mana.
I've done my workout. I started doing it's called the 7 a.m. workout group. It's a program by a guy called Anthony. I don't know, I haven't been able to remember his second name. He's a Greek guy, and it is pretty good. He's doing a program where you learn how to train very early in the morning, like how to take it slow and scale it up along the way, just so you can get the work out of the day. The reason why I'm doing that, and I talked about it in a different game. I talked about it in one of the Total War series. However, I'm not sure that everybody who's watching Total War is watching this as well. But I've been feeling quite out of shape in the past year with the lockdown and everything else. Like, I've been working from home, I've been staying inside the house as I do, meet family members that are a bit older. And though I might be feeling fine and stuff, it can be pretty risky to meet them. Even have some friends that got sick all of a sudden. And it was really funny at the time because I have been very careful, like with you know, going shopping, making sure I have a mask on and everything else. Coming from the shops, like wash up, put everything separately, and you know, I have a working system, I guess. It's a decent system just to try to prevent getting sick. With the new special, like, I am not sure if we can still talk about it when it comes to YouTube. But anyway, leaving that aside. But these friends they were so much more careful than we were, and they got sick. It's like they asked us, because we met them at some point, my partner and I, and they asked us, like, how are we feeling? Everything is good? And we said, yeah, no problem. It's been a busy week, but what can you say? And they were like, well, we are not feeling too well. And they said that on one day they couldn't feel they couldn't smell anymore, like not even alcohol was that obvious. And it really gave a perspective on, I usually say this even when it starts, because everybody's doing their best, right? Everybody does what they think it's best, and no matter how careful you are, you don't know where you will get it from, right? So you have to be careful. As I said, you do your best. You do your best to reduce the chances of getting sick. And yeah, that was a bit of a proof that no matter how careful you are, you can still get it. But going back to the workout, like I felt like in the last year, like as I said, I stayed inside the home a lot. I've been working on the computer a lot more than usual, where you're missing even simple activities, like, you know, every day you go out, you get on the bus, you pick up your bag, and you do things like that, which they're not really exercises, at least not in the true sense of the word. But it's definitely a lot more than this sitting down every day and, you know, not having to pick anything heavy up because there's nothing heavy to be picked up.
I need more mana.
Or there rarely is, and you're starting, like, I feel like I'm starting to miss even on the most basic of physical abilities. And my joints generally started hurting, like definitely the hands for the mouse. I'm doing some exercises just to try to work out those wrists and make sure they're not, like, they've started hurting. And so I have looked online, and I am trying to do more and more exercises as time goes by, just to get better. make sure that I don't injure myself long term. As once you get injured, it's becoming harder and harder to heal. Like 10 years ago, I would recover like so quickly. Everything would work so well. Like every time I had an injury, yeah, let's say most of the time I would just sleep it off and I'd be fine in about a few days to a week. But nowadays there are some injuries I've had working out that takes a lot longer than that. And it takes up to a month and maybe two. Like if I don't exercise, some of them, like if I don't do any kind of recovery workout, you know, start with small exercise and then warm it up every day and do things like that, I realize sometimes it's not happening at all. So that is something that I don't know. It's something that makes me start thinking about my age, and I never thought that I would have that idea that people say, you know, that when you're young you feel like you're invincible. Like, I understand it now. I understand that. Like I can see the big differences between when I was young and today. And when I was a lot younger, because I'm not, to be honest, I'm not that old. If I shave my beard off, I look like a teenager. That is not, that is not necessarily the look I want to go for. So, yeah, and this workout that I'm doing now, it's challenging me, and I do want to get more and more in shape. I would like to become more buff. The problems I've had in my life is being too skinny, and I did manage to gain weight. Like I think it's been a few years now, like 2, maybe 3 years. I think it's been 3 years. Because the goal for me to gain weight was to be able to donate blood. I always wanted to do that. I heard that it is healthy for you as well to do it every once in a while.
I need more
and
mana.
it helps the community as well. Especially since I was in the Zero group, the O group. Not sure how you say it in, because there's A, B, and I. Like we say zero, but I'm not sure if in English it's O group instead of zero. But anyway, so basically that was my goal. That's why I worked on gaining weight, and it took me about a year of being quite active. Like whenever I would eat, I would always bring in, like I would eat slightly more than usual, or have more meals, smaller meals in between. And I did manage to get an extra 5 kilos along the year. But that was with constant effort. And so I managed to reach the desired weight, so I donated blood, and that goal was
Good
complete.
to see you. See you.
But then physical fitness became a problem. I used to do, like early on in my life, I used to do
Yes.
a lot of sports. And
Be careful.
last two I did were Muay Thai, and I did Kendo as well. And I enjoy both of them. I do love aggressive sports. I love doing them more than watching them. So it was a really fun experience. Like I always think about whether I could ever go back to doing one of them. Unfortunately, the answer to that is a bit of a no. Not that I wouldn't be able to do it, is that I have so many things that I want to do. I don't know when I'll have the
When
time.
I'm
Like,
ready and not
at
before.
some point, you have to pick and choose what activities you will want to do. Plus, I want to have a family, and I want all kinds of other things that, you know, you want to have some extra time for and not be pressured by your schedule all the time. So I don't know, we'll see how things go along the way. For now, I'm doing workout, like I'm trying to stay fit, get fitter. And hopefully by doing it very early in the morning, it will not interfere with my schedule, with what I'm trying to do, with what I'm trying to do with the channel. And I am hoping that I'll be able to grow the channel.
I need more
Like, I really
mana.
want to try streaming in the near future. And I will be doing a test run, but I don't think I'll be doing a test run. Oh, bit of lag there. I won't be doing for this time a test run on Path of Exile. But maybe I will do in the future, if all goes well, and if all goes according to plan, at the start of the next league in April, in the middle of April, maybe I'll do then a short live stream. Well, maybe not a short one, a longer one, as I'm trying to see, you know, just test things out and learn a few basic lessons about how to do Twitch, and getting some interactions with you guys should be a lot of fun.
Still sane. Come back soon.
And by the time we're gonna do that first stream, I am hoping that I'll be able to do 10 pull-ups in a very, like, in a proper fashion.
Everything you have done is
or as close to 10 pull-ups as I can. Right now, like, I've been, when I was like, I'm gonna compare myself to where I was 20 years ago, because I was a lot fitter then. I was even considering, like, seriously considering a military career, and I was training for that. I was keeping myself fit, but then I made the choice to go in a different direction than military. I had two branching paths at the time, but I will talk about them on a different occasion. But yeah, when I was in my 20s, I was a lot more fit, and I used to be able to do many pull-ups, like, from the start, because I was always involved in different physical activities. I did have the strength to do around, I think I started somewhere from 7 pull-ups, like the first time I did it, and then I just scaled it up pretty quickly. That was about the number. I don't remember nowadays, like, the thing is, that is the number that I have in my head, but I don't know how proper my technique was. Nowadays I know more about working out, so if I had a video of myself back then doing pull-ups, I would know if I was doing them properly or not, because if you don't do them properly, you can definitely bring in a lot more. But I didn't care at the time. At the time it was only about numbers. Just get 40 push-ups if I can, 50 push-ups, do, you know, how many crunches can I do, like, do up to 100. But that contributed a lot, like the sports, doing Muay Thai and things like that, contributed a lot to that level of physical fitness. So yeah, now, when I started doing the pull-ups now, like, I could barely get to 3. And that is absolutely awful. It's so demotivating to not be able to do, like, I did the first one and I was like, yeah, okay, good. It's the workout is a bit of a scaling system. So basically you do one pull-up and you rest, and then you do, like, you rest for one breath, you do 2 pull-ups and rest for 2 breaths, and so on and so forth. So you basically push yourself one further each time, and then you go back down again. And yeah, I got to 3 pull-ups, which is awful. Like, I understand. So I understand because I haven't done, exercises in a very long time. There is not, and because I've lost a lot of physical fitness. Oh, hey boss. Ooh, 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 ooh. Rats. Should have teleported back home. I'm doing much about it now. Lost 10 experience there. Yeah, I'm going to work hard on doing more and more, like scale everything up. And I know it's going to happen. As I said, I did work out before, so I know how it works. I know that nice and steady, you will win the race. Basically, you'll get more fit, and you will be able to do a lot more and feel better. But it's still demoralizing. No matter how you put it, it's still demoralizing to be in that situation. And these guys have a lot of... I think what I will do in the future... Yeah, what we'll do in the future... Let's see, where is the bleeding guy? Let's see, 60 life, cannot be blinded, okay. Is it one of those major ones? And I know there is someone. Why am I not seeing it now? Ah, here it is. Soul of Ralakesh. 25 reduce physical damage over time taken while moving. That is bleeding. And 25% chance to avoid bleeding. And we cannot be blinded or maimed. You know, we should upgrade this. And every time we run this map in the future, we will throw in the Soul of Ralakesh. Just so we can avoid that terrible bleeding. Probably we'll do with all the enemies that do cause bleeding. Yeah, don't really care about this one. Okay, let's see. Can I get a 6 link? Of course not. My 6 link luck has been really bad during this league. I've used 1,000 fusion orbs trying to make a 6 link. Both on the sword, like I tried it on that sword that you saw early on in the campaign, and also with the armor that I am trying to make here. Like, I'm up to 1,000 and I didn't get a 6 link. Which is really awful luck. But what can you do? It really brings into perspective the fact that I could have just sold them and get myself a better armor. But c'est la vie.
I need more mana.
You know what? I should start selling some of the stuff that I have. I don't... The reason I think why I didn't is because I am not getting a whole lot of time to play. And I don't want to get distracted by messages asking us to trade. But given that I'm not making any currency and I do need exalted orbs and all kinds of currencies, I should rethink the plan. Plated Greaves? I think I have them already. Not sure, let's go this way. This place has good experience. Let's see, 11%. Penetrating Arrow Quiver, another 6 gem. Yeah, not even the drops are... I didn't get 6 links in the drops either. Stacks are against me this time. Okay, so we have a boss here. The Sovereign of the Well. So we damage him out. And now he will teleport. And we will have to go through different phases here. With multiple Stygian Spires and summoning. And once we break these, he will appear again. Okay, ooh. Have to be more careful. And now we're coming back. He's here again. We're getting some flask. Refilled. Oof. Yeah, let's not stay still anymore. Seems like it's an awful idea. The music is breaking out.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Okay. On to the next one. You can see that we have some time there.
I need more mana.
We definitely need to move quicker every time he opens a gate. So he's trying to escape. And you don't want that to happen. Extra monsters. Oof, oof, oof. Don't stay in their way. So far so good. And we're getting some experience. Now it's less time than before. Let's break this spire up. Okay, back to the center, back to this guy. We'll arc him. We'll move away. And that should be the end of him almost. Good. So we got ourselves a Stygian Vice and Murder Boots. Murder Boots, they have that special gem there, which you can throw in one of those eyes for modifiers. And 3 extra, almost 4 extra experience, that's not bad. Ooh. Rats. Ah, that. You know what's worse than dying to that is, you know, just that extra feeling when you know you screwed up, like you can see it coming towards you. So yeah, but it's too late. What do we have here? Not the best, but we'll keep it. We'll keep them for now. And I will be keeping the gem as well. I'll reorganize things later on. Like I keep saying that, but I'm a hoarder more than an organizer from what I can tell nowadays. Let's go back onto the map.
When I'm ready, and not before. I need more mana.
I'm a bit curious about you. Like, are you doing any kind of workouts right now? Have you been like doing sports, or have you found some cool solutions to, you know, to stay at least, you know, in a basic physical form? Like, I was very curious that I didn't see. Yeah, let's break them from a distance if we can. It was very curious to me that I didn't see any kind of new ideas pop out. I've seen the businesses, like the restaurants and all of these businesses that had to close down during this time, bring out new ideas, like separate rooms with separate. They separated a whole, like an entire area with glass panels, and yeah, once you leave the room, everything gets disinfected, and you know, they brought in some really good ideas, some good systems, and they tried their best to stay alive, to stay afloat with their business and everything else. And I was, you know, impressed about the ideas they come out with, but I haven't seen. Oh, he's getting healed by the Maven. Okay, the buff is gone. Okay. Have our first map over here. But I was looking for the different ways or different ideas for people to bring workouts at a different level, like maybe a new system from distance. I've seen personal coaches like training people at home, and I've seen some apps doing that. So basically you pay a certain fee per month or per your subscription. Yeah, I think it's per month. A higher price than what you might want to pay for an app, but you get a personal trainer. And that is really cool. That is a cool idea. It's a whole lot easier to work out when someone tells you what to do, when someone makes the plan for you, especially if you don't have the experience to do it yourself. But I haven't seen anything else other than that. So people just go to the gym and they do their best to clean up, to disinfect, to do things like that. I've seen that. I've seen precautions being taken in the gym. And I've only seen the apps for the workout, but I haven't seen anything like, not revolutionary maybe. A new type of activity, something that is more oriented towards either home.
Oops.
I've seen
clumsy
people
move.
go on Zoom trying to do workouts there, which I don't know about you. I was very excited by Zoom when it first came out. So I um, got myself an account early on, a premium account, just so I can have long meetings or be able to have meetings that are longer without them stopping at the 30-minute mark. Because I do have a bunch of other activities outside of work that I'm doing, and even at work we needed apps like Zoom for our own use, right? For the team meetings and things like that. So I enjoyed the strength that you get, or the control that you get from having your own account. At the
I
end of the
need more
day,
mana.
it didn't really matter like where we meet. Like, we don't have to spend time worrying like every 30 minutes it will close down and we might need to find a different app or what not. And so I got myself a Zoom account, and then it became a bit of how do I push this to be more valuable for me and for the people around me. And so I started participating in different groups, creating meetings, and learning along the way. But now it's been a year since we've met online. Like, everything has been online. And I feel like it's not only me, but I feel like people in general are starting to get tired of Zoom. Like, if I go on Zoom every day for work and then I go on Zoom for other activities that we can't do them anywhere else, because you can't really meet a big group, in some of the buildings in the city or outside, for me it's pretty tiring, or like I'm already bored to go on a Zoom group, another Zoom group, just to, I don't know, do the workouts or things like
When
that.
I'm ready and not
I
before.
don't feel like that is productive. I want to disconnect more. There was someone, I've heard a speech once that they were talking about it was like reduce the noise was the title of that speech. And what they talked about is just disconnecting from all the system. Like, every day we're constantly connected, right? So we always read information, we read news, we watch videos, and when we can't imagine really closing down a computer without opening a radio or opening the TV or things like that. We're rarely sitting in silence anymore. And they were talking about this kind of noise, like there's always something going on, you're always hearing something. And so I don't know if you've noticed, but I've made this observation recently, that when I go to bed, when I go to sleep,
Desecrate our sanctum. This will not stand. Shadows fall.
This is a nice battle.
I am done. Sacred shall avenge you, sister.
Let me get this.
Light.
Nice.
Eclipsed.
Okay, well, that's that. What kind of quality do we have on our clarity? Because I have a quality 16 clarity. Flame Dash, Arcane Support, Righteous Fire. Where was clarity? Here. We don't have quality on it. And this provides us with increased area of effect. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's going to take time to level it up, but we're gonna throw that in as well. We have 10 more minutes. What should we do? Shall we run a few more maps? I think that's like Ivory Temple, we haven't completed the bonus objective. But maybe I'll leave the bonus objective for later. Let's do new maps. Yeah, we have like a few more maps. Don't know if we'll be able to run all of them today. We'll do this. Reduce elemental resistance. Okay. Okay, the maps look good. Let's continue forward. Let's bring Einhard here as well. Yeah, we're starting to complete these areas. So I've noticed that at night when I go to bed, it's like in my head there's a bit of a...
When I'm ready and not before.
Like I can't really hear total silence. I hear like a... I don't know how to call it, how to best describe it. But like I can't hear the total silence. I guess that is... We'll stay at that. And in the past, volatile, okay, not violent. And in the past, what I've noticed is whenever I would go to the countryside, like where I had my grandparents,
We are friends now.
I would say quite a long while, like up to 3 weeks sometimes, just away from technology. Like we had a TV, but being towards the edge of the country, not fully developed at the time. There weren't really these many TV systems, like companies, like phone companies had an antenna somewhere around there, but in order, like I still remember up to this day, that in order to get a signal in the village, there were 2 places like that you could get to. Either climb, like we had a tree in the garden, like a pretty old and big tree, and you had to climb that. And there were places where it was high enough to where you would get a signal. So that would be one possibility to send an SMS. It couldn't really talk, but SMS would go through. So you'll do that, or you would walk to the edge of the village, like up a hill, close to the cemetery. So you would, if you didn't know better, like, and you'd come through that area, you would see a lot of people sitting by a cemetery looking on their phones. Like everybody was there at different times of day, just trying to catch a signal and talk to people and do things like that. And that is pretty crazy. But I was spending some time, like a few weeks at a time during summer, and my grandparents, and after spending a few days there, I would get this feeling, like the disconnecting feeling. I would get the total silence. Did we defeat the boss, or am I missing something? What is he shooting at? I can't seem to figure out where. Okay, so here is the portal. I totally missed whether I defeated the boss here or not. Probably have. Yeah, well, let's return and we'll take a look at the map. Shipyard. Shipyard map. Well... Oh, it's complete, but I needed to go on corrupted and rare. Okay, well, let's check. What do we need for this park? A park map. Well, I don't see it anywhere, probably because I moved the gems. Then we're gonna go with the park as it is. So after staying a few days there to up to a few weeks,
See you.
when I would go to sleep, there would be this silence, and even during the day, where you wouldn't really hear anything, like total pitch silence. Can I use that? I know pitch darkness you can use, but is pitch silence a thing?
I need more mana.
It's very interesting feeling, and you can still do it today. Like if you wanna truly disconnect, like you wanna understand better what I mean, go out camping or go away from technology for a few weeks. I try to do camping for longer than a week. You probably don't need more than a week to disconnect, but give it a go. You'll understand a whole lot better what I mean. I do miss those good old days. I remember even like my grandparents had this armchair, and I believe that was the best armchair in the world. Very well made, with a pretty good feeling where you'd feel so comfy sitting in it. More than that, you could sleep in it. Like it was large enough
When I'm ready
where
and not before.
if you just relaxed on it, you could fall asleep. So what I would do, like during the summer days, is take that outside. Like I would take the armchair outside, and I would be reading. Like it was right under. They had grape, like a few grape vines, and they created a few areas around the house where it was covered by them, so it was shade, like the sun was not blowing straight at you, and I would just sit and relax. Still remember to this day, like when I was young, I read Bram Stoker Dracula in 2 days or something, and that it was a record for me at the time. I mean, it was one of those things where I didn't really enjoy reading, but that book captured me in my youth, and it caught me so much, and the feeling was so good outside that I read it in 2 days. Quite fun experience, and it was warm, and you couldn't hear much, especially like they had animals around the house, but there was some point during the afternoon, like every day, or when it was hot, where you wouldn't hear any of the animals. I don't know if they were resting, sleeping, hiding from the sun, or what, but there would be this like total silence. You could just hear maybe the brush of the wind, and yeah, that is something that I still dream about. Would love to own a house, but I know that I'm not active enough uh, and good enough to be able to take care of a house. There's a lot of work to be done. There's always something to be done. And
Come back.
I always dream about the advantages, not so much about the disadvantages of owning a house. So who knows what will happen in the future, but I think apartment is where I'll be staying at. Yeah, I hope you have enjoyed all these rambles, all these subjects. If you have any thoughts on anything I said, or you have your own experience and you want to share it with me, it would be really nice to hear from you. Now, until tomorrow, I thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all to have a wonderful day.